We are live. What's up, expats and travelers alike? I'm Josh with Expats Everywhere.
And I'm Kaylee.
And
G.
Amy.
All right, so if you guys don't know about this project, let me get you guys caught up to speed, and then we're going to talk about the central region. We're going to give a first impression of the central region and then a hot take, maybe something that is interesting or controversial that we found since being here about a week. Our lighting situation isn't great here, but we're always in a new environment. We don't know what it's going to be like, so here we are today. Okay, so the project is we've started about a month and a half ago down in the south of Portugal in the Algarve. And based on your vote, every 2 weeks, we go to a different city in a different region of Portugal. So we left the Lisbon region. We were in Setúbal 2 weeks ago, and now we're here in Coimbra in central Portugal. And we are going to tell you guys about what we're experiencing, as well as producing content every couple of days, really. So let's jump into it. And then we'll get to the chats as well, because we have some amazing super chats. Thank you so much. I'll pop that up right now. We have a huge super chat. Thank you for the support.
Thank you.
Okay.
Calabasas cat.
Calabasas cat. And we'll get to. All right. So let's go with Kaylee first. What's your first impression of Central Region?
First impression, I would say specifically of Coimbra, is the demographic is much lower than other places that we've been. Because it's a university town, there are loads of young people. So, there are a variety of people here, but lots of young people. So that's my first impression of Coimbra.
Okay.
G. Nice. Yeah. I would say there's a lot of greenery in this area. Like, it doesn't look it when you're in the city centre, but when you kind of drive out, it's just lakes and water everywhere. So it's really good that there's places that you can go for parks and walks and all sorts. So I really do like that.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
I found that even though on the map it looks like we're really far away, we've travelled to quite a few places, and it actually doesn't take that long. Like, you can be in a completely different place in like an hour or 45 minutes. So yeah, it's not as remote as it looks on the map, really.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, so we've been traveling around quite a bit just within this region, and we've hit up several towns. And I would say the thing that's caught me out is that a lot of these towns, there's a decent amount to do. Mm-hmm. Like they're not as small as you would think, being little dots on a map. They're decent towns. So that's been my first impression as we have kind of gotten to know this region. All right. So hot take. So something maybe that's a little controversial. Kaylee, do you want to get it going?
I do have mine.
Okay.
And I guess this might be personal preference, but my hot take is it is better here than down south. Better than the Algarve, better than Lisbon. And I think because, like G said, the greenery is one thing. The people are very nice, which is another thing. The overall feel and vibe of the central region is just more up my alley, I guess you would say. So that would be my hot take.
Wow. Fire. All right, G.
Yeah, myself. Again, there's a lot of hills in this area.
Okay.
A lot of hills. Like, you would think that there's just a nice area that's nice and flat, a bit like Lagos when we was there, and the boulevard, you can just walk for ages. But here, as soon as it's like 20 minutes of walking, you're already just legs are done.
And you have all your camera
He's got
stuff.
all his camera stuff.
So
That's even worse.
Yeah.
I think, like the people are really nice. Like, I've had some super nice interactions with people. Like when I was in the store the other day, and the lady behind the checkout was making me basically saying everything I bought in Portuguese so that I would repeat it back to her. So yeah, I just thought that was a really cool little interaction, and I've said hello to a few people, and I think everyone's really nice.
Awesome.
Nice.
I wish I was there for that. That was awesome, because I could learn that stuff too. Okay, so my hot take just has to do with Coimbra, and it's not necessarily a hot take for Coimbra, but for the rest of the places that we've been, there's less dog poo on the sidewalks.
Yeah.
Always a topic of conversation.
I don't see that many people actually walking their dogs around here, but there's definitely less dog poo, and I appreciate that.
I think it's because there's less, less people have dogs in the sense that there's a lot of university students, so I think they probably don't have dogs, or they don't bring them here for school. So maybe less dogs all around.
Yeah.
But surprisingly, more flies.
More flies.
flies.
There's definitely more flies.
More flies.
Just the further north we've gone, like the more flies we've been eating up.
Man.
They don't have the dog poop to sit on, so they got to find people.
That could be it.
All right, so we're gonna ask Amy and G to step out real quick. If you guys have a specific question for them, we'll bring them back in. We'll make them answer that question, but they're gonna run the chat for us.
Yes, behind the scenes. Oh, and Pincho is here. Sia is sleeping as usual.
So any questions that you guys have that you specifically want to know about this region, please hit us up in the chats. And Amy's going to start to chuck in some questions here for us. We really want to thank you guys for joining us. We see some familiar names. We see some names that aren't familiar to us, like Calabasas Cat says that you've been watching for a while. Thank you so much. We appreciate the super sticker that you put up there. And it's awesome. Yes,
and when you're here in November, if we're around, we'd love to hang out. That goes for anyone. I mean, it's great when we get emails or messages of people saying I'm visiting or I just moved here and I'd love to meet you. We love to meet you guys too.
Yep.
So that's a really fun part of what we do is not only helping you guys, but then connecting with you once you actually make it.
Trust me, guys, we are not like YouTube celebrities. We are normal people. You can hit us up and we'll try to meet up with you if we can, if we've got the free time.
Yeah. All right. So keep those questions going. We'll start with Stu's wrestling vlog. I'm moving to Portugal in January. Is it cheaper to live in an expat community or a little further out? I could see price gouging in expat areas. Would you like to answer that?
No, I want you to. I've got an opinion, but yeah.
Well, I think it's hard to define what an expat community is as far as living goes, because some cities will have more expats than others. Some are like completely expat resorty areas. Mm-hmm. That's mainly down south.
Yep.
Those will be more expensive. But I think it's quite easy if you live in a city to live anywhere in the city and then get connected with the expat community there, but not necessarily be paying expat prices in a sense, mm-hmm. because you can live like a local, but you can still have the expat community for the social aspect of it. That's what I would say.
Yeah. So if you're not in, let's say, the south in Algarve, then you're probably going to be in one of the either major cities like Porto or Lisbon or Braga. I guess that would be a major city for Portugal, or one of the smaller towns, mid-sized towns like what we've been visiting. And for the most part in those places, there's not really going to be like this, building that all the expats are in.
Yeah.
So you're right. So you're gonna kind of be spread out across the city. The expat bubble happens, which we don't really like the expat bubble per se. We like to mix with both expats and locals. That's going to be one where, if you get into a pocket of the city where there's a lot of international things, you're going to pay more for it, but it doesn't necessarily mean that you're just hanging out with expats or in that bubble. It's more of the community that you build, not necessarily the physical location.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah. So you can live on any budget, honestly.
Yeah. Amit, hi Amit. Does it feel far from the ocean?
Not if you have I won't even say not if you have a car, because you can get a train to the ocean pretty quickly. We drove to Nazaré from Coimbra and it wasn't very far.
45 minutes?
Yeah, it was pretty easy.
But the train is really quick as well. You can take the train from here to Figueira da Foz. 30 minutes. Pincho, calm down.
Pincho hears someone outside.
Yeah. I think it's like 30, 45. Oh, maybe it's about an hour.
Yep.
But it doesn't feel far from the ocean at all. And Coimbra has a river, so you do have some water feel, I guess.
Yep. Right on cue. So we have a question about our barking dogs, as big a noise issue as many people have claimed.
I think so, actually.
Probably. This
was a question when we were in Porto, and it didn't seem so bad. But as we travel around, seeing how many people leave their dogs on the balconies, and then one starts to bark, and then they all
kick off.
He
kicks off.
Yeah, one sees from the balcony another dog on a walk, and they bark at each other, and so there is a lot of barking. I think it's just expected. People don't seem to be shushing their dogs. We should try to shush him, but it just is an expected thing. So there are a lot of dogs barking, but it's not really annoying. I don't think. Do you think it's annoying?
Yeah, I think it's annoying when he's barking.
Well,
because he kicks off the other ones.
Well, he's ours, but when you're just walking around and you hear dogs barking, it just sounds like a background noise like anything else. Cars going by, horns honking, dogs barking. I don't know. It just seems normal. That's it. Okay. I think it's normal, but.
All right, weave the story. What's up, Sofian?
Hello, guys. Kaylee, what? You prefer the colder north and the beautiful south? Less dog poops in Coimbra, my kind of city. Yeah.
It is your kind of city, Sophia.
So I do. I know. I mean, you would think that I'd like the hot weather being from Florida, but I'm okay with the cooler weather, especially if it's not super cold all the time. So if it's just the winter, it's not too bad. But I just like the overall vibe of more of the central north than in the south.
Yeah, the gray is something that you're going to have to think about because, we've been in central or north during the summer or during the spring, and you still have gray days. So if you don't like gray skies,
it's really not all day, though.
No, but you really need to consider, moving to the central or northern regions.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it's all day, though.
Kaylee's always trying to sell people on the north. I don't know why.
I mean, I like it better. I mean, it's all about personal preference. I mean, we've met plenty of people who would say Lisbon.
Super chat.
But
super chat.
Okay, Flavia L, thank you so much. We'll be traveling to Portugal in August. What do you think about Larria? I can't say this one very well.
Leiria
to live.
Close, I think. I don't even know if I'm saying it right. I think it's a beautiful place to live. Again, like I was saying earlier, where these mid-sized towns, I'm going to call them mid-sized towns. It's not like a massive city. They've got everything that you need.
Mm-hmm.
They seem very community-based. It seems like you can find like your local bar or pastry place and actually become friendly with whoever works there. I like that. I like that a lot.
Yeah, the medium-sized ones, like Josh said, there's everything. You'll find your little parks. You'll find your big grocery stores. You'll find the bars, the restaurants, so you can get into a groove easily. And actually, we were talking about this today, that we've traveled to several places, like some of these towns in Central, and they all offer something great. They'd be easy to live in. They're kind of on the smaller end if you don't want to be in a big city, but they're all very livable. So it would be hard to be like, oh, you should choose Tomar over Nazare.
One downside to that is I think that all of them are very similar.
Okay.
They're just very similar. Like the look of downtown Tomar is similar to the look of downtown or historic city center in Coimbra or in Leiria or.
So is that a downside? I mean, that's a good or bad. I guess you just kind of find
it's just hard to differentiate.
People and you get your groove, I guess, in any of these places. I guess the difference would be if you want to be on the coast or not. Now, the coastal cities do have a different feel because of the ocean. So you get more of the beach feel. So if you want that.
Yep.
But yeah, I think Leiria would be a good place to live.
Okay.
Next. Okay. Calabasas Cat. Are you going to talk about Nazare, interested in beach close towns other than the Algarve?
Well, we can talk about Nazare if you want. What do you want to know? We didn't spend too much time there. I will say this. We were caught out by the fact that in July is actually the lowest swell that there is. So the waves.
We thought we were going to see massive waves.
Yeah, we thought we were just
going
to see walls of water.
And waves and these massive waves, but we came in the wrong month. Apparently that's December, right? The winter?
Yeah, December. So I think that Nazare is a bit
touristy?
I don't know if it's touristy. I don't know if that's the right word for it.
Vacation destination?
Yeah, that's still touristy, isn't it? It's not international tourism.
No,
not as much anyways. But I don't know. There was something about it that was very chill, very relaxed.
It has the beach feel for sure.
Yeah, but it did seem like along the beach there were just a lot of kitschy things for tourists.
But you don't have to be quite along there, and you can be up. I mean, where the rocks are. I mean, the houses
cliffs
up there, like those cliffs, they look beautiful.
Beautiful.
So that could be something. I think it'd be a good place to live, but you will have to be okay with the tourism or the people coming just for the beach. Whether that means they live an hour away and they're driving in just for the day or something. So that beach feel for sure.
Yeah. People are nice there. Mandy, thank you so much for the super sticker. I think that is. We appreciate it. And
yes,
Aardvark, thank you so much as well.
No one is saying who are they for. Remember, we've got our little icons. So
Amy hand drew those icons.
Me, I've been driving everywhere, so I have not been drinking.
There we go. Leiria.
Sean, hey, thanks. Leiria.
Yeah, I think I was saying that right. Leiria.
I find it hard because it's
the diphthongs.
The E's and the I's, there's a bunch of them. And then it's like, do you roll that at it, you know? But thank you for that. Okay, Virginia. Bom dia, alegria Does it rain 4 months out of the year in Porto? I would think it would be in the winter months. The rain.
I mean, if that's
Long pause.
if that's a true stat, it probably does have some rain across 4 months, but it doesn't feel like it, I would say.
The most rain does come in the winter.
Absolutely.
It's kind of this off and on rain. It's not like
Misty.
It's quite rare to just have like these downpours all day.
Mhm.
It would be this off and on misty rain. So
Mhm.
easy to walk in. Just have like a raincoat more than an umbrella just because of the wind. But it does rain, and so you have the cool and the rain. But it's misty in Porto. So
not bad.
there is that.
Super sticker.
Therese Wheeler, thank you very much for that. And your question, what's the price on TF1 in Porto? What's TF1?
It depends. I'm guessing we're talking about a T1.
Oh, an apartment?
Yeah, apartment. It really depends on the finish, but maybe it would be safe to say anywhere between 500 and 700 euros if you're going for something that's quite like modern, nice, fully furnished.
Location is a big thing too. If you're going to be downtown in the city center area, you'll pay more, maybe for something that's smaller or older. But if you want to be out a bit more, then you might get a bigger place, quieter, maybe a little less expensive. Yeah. But we have. Oh, I was gonna say we did the neighborhood tours for Porto. So if you're interested in kind of digging into each neighborhood and what the feel is for each, what they offer, the food, whether they're good for singles, couples, families, retirees, any of that, we did a whole series on those neighborhoods. So you can check that out.
The 7 most livable neighborhoods in Porto.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
James,
Super chat.
Around for the team. All right, let's see.
We'll cycle through all of the images.
There's
me.
Josh and G
with his pizza.
Amy with sumal. Me with my wine.
And
Sia
with her pastry.
She had some ice cream today. It's good ice cream.
Yeah.
Thank you for that. Okay. Do you want me to keep
reading?
reading?
Keep reading and I'll answer this one.
Michael Richards, my girlfriend and I are thinking of moving to Lisbon from San Francisco, California, but that's about 4 or so years out.
You're a planner, so.
Yeah. I like that. Are there things we should be doing here in prep other than trying to learn Portuguese, paperwork, etc.?
I would say not 4 years out. Not 4 years out. Continue watching videos. Have fun doing that. Taking a look at all the YouTubers that are out there that are doing their thing here in Portugal, and then learning Portuguese. If you give yourself 4 years to learn, my goodness, you're gonna be fluent by the
that'll be
time you get
awesome.
here.
And I would say if you can, come do a recon trip, so that you can get into these different cities and decide what works best for you guys. So I would say that. Better than that, paperwork. Look at this, beers for the gang and a pastry for Sia.
Thank you,
Amit. But yeah, I think learning Portuguese is the best thing you can do right now. Paperwork, no. I mean, you can probably slowly start to dwindle down your possessions that you don't want to bring with you. That way it's not too stressful that last year or so. But
a couple resources for Portuguese that we have actually used is, we've used Liz with Talk the Streets, watching her videos, Portuguese with Leo, Portuguese with Carla. So what we think is for those 3 YouTubers, as well as Memrise,
Ling. I think we have a link for Ling in the description.
Yeah, for a discount, right?
I think it is, yeah.
And Duolingo. We started out with Duolingo, but Duolingo is Brazilian Portuguese. So then we were like, well, this isn't going to do us that much good. So we decided to go with Ling and Memrise. Yeah. So what we really recommend is definitely start out with someone like Liz, because she delivers most of her instruction in English. So that's Talk the Streets. And then start to integrate Portuguese with Leo and Portuguese with Carla. The cool thing with Portuguese with Leo is he talks a lot about culture and history here in Portugal. So you can learn a bit about that before you come. And then, or if you're living here. And then Portuguese with Carla has an awesome course that we're actually taking right now that's a bit more advanced.
Yeah, it's definitely advanced, but it's a lot of fun. And really, that's something that you could you go at your own pace. So you could do it for a year or even longer. So we're kind of test running that right now. And then we're going to put some content out about that to get you guys more information after we do this project. But that is a good one.
We have a link for that one too, but I think I need to chuck that in the description section of this video.
Yeah, but if you want to message us and we can give you those recommendations. But I would say my biggest thing is make sure that you're learning European Portuguese, because there is a big difference.
Yep. All right, let's jump back to a question about Central. Yes, there we go.
Okay, Julie, did you get to go to Figueira da Foz?
We went today. Very, very nice experience going there. It would have been nice to actually spend a little more time, but we needed to get Valencia back here. That's our daughter. We needed to get her back here before her second nap of the day. But I would definitely want to spend more time in Figueira da Foz. I think it's cool.
Yeah, it was really pretty. Funny
vibes.
enough, I mean, it was actually kind of cloudy and foggy for a little bit of it, and then it cleared up and it was really pretty.
Sun was hot.
Yeah, so it was kind of cool at first and then hot, which I think is quite common in this region. You'll get different temperatures throughout the day.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would definitely go back and hang out there a little longer.
It had a really interesting mix of being this coastal place, but also there's the casino there. So there was, that kind of entertainment vibe that was going on. It was interesting.
Yeah.
Kaylee's got me saying the word vibe all the time. Sorry, guys.
I think it's a good word. Josh is like, change it to like feel. And I'm just like, I like vibe. Okay, we have the story. Based on your travels around the country, do you prefer to be based near the coast, more inland, or island life? Well, that's a good question.
That's a great question, Sophian. I think that we prefer to be near water. So that would be either a river or the coast. I know inland you can do that as well. We haven't experienced super harsh, cold inland weather, but we've heard that's a thing, and I don't know if I'm really interested in that. And we haven't had island life yet. So
I mean, we've been on islands, and we've talked about how we probably,
not in Portugal,
would probably never live on an island just because it is so remote, and we do like to travel. I mean, obviously travel has been put on hold for quite a while, but traveling is just logistically, it's harder. Generally, it's more expensive to fly out in and out of an island. So I think island would be more short term for us. It's tough though, because I really like the river beaches that were inland. I really like that. But I do like the coast. But Josh doesn't really like the beach. That's the thing.
no, I don't have to be by a beach,
Yeah.
but I do like seeing water.
Yeah.
So
Valencia really likes the water, though.
She
She's
loves
gotten
the
into
water.
the ocean a few times and really enjoys it. So that's a tough one. Okay, Michael, question. What do you guys think of Madeira and Azores? Are you planning to travel there and possibly Cape Verde?
Wow, that's a loaded question. Okay, so when we started out this project, we had a couple goals. One goal was a patron goal. The other goal was a subscriber goal. And with the subscriber goal on YouTube, we were hoping to hit 50K. And if we hit 50K, then we would come up with the funds to get ourselves to either Azores or Madeira, depending on your all's vote. But we're falling a little short of that. So if you're seeing it now, hit the subscribe button.
Yeah.
And then the patron goal, we're getting closer to the patron goal. So it's possible if we do hit that 150 with number of patrons. So whether that's at the $4, the $10, the $25 levels of monthly support, then that could get us the amount of money to go, because doing this tour has not been cheap. But yeah,
And
we've
then-
loved doing it for you guys.
I mean, we're probably closer to the patron goal. So then the patrons would choose which island we go to.
Yeah, because we can only do one with the amount of time that Amy and G have. Thanks, Brexit.
Yeah. Yep. So if you want to become a patron, that'd be awesome. It's a different community, so that's cool.
Yep.
All right. Michael, thank you for that info. Also, can you find places that are sort of Western style to live, aka apartments with better insulation so it's not so cold in winter? We visited 2 years ago and it was cold.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I think it's all the newer builds.
Yeah.
I think the building regulations, if I'm not wrong, Portuguese people, please get into the comment section about this, but I believe it is 2005 is when they had like new building regulations. And since then, the windows have been double glazed and things have been insulated. And yeah, it's gotten better. Newer builds.
I think a big thing is it's really important if you look at an apartment and it's all new and beautiful and renovated, and that's great, but you need to find out about the building, because it's okay if the apartment is nice, but the building might be old, and that's going to cause more problems than the fact that the apartment is renovated. So definitely the newer builds, they're insulating much better than how it used to be. So just be careful with that.
Yeah.
Boulder Geek, thank you. Super sticker. Yay.
Oh, there's also the
rating.
The rating. Thank you.
They give a rating, so they have to submit they're something, and then I think they come and check, and they give them like an A through F rating.
Find out the rating. You definitely want C or better. Really, you want A or B.
Yeah.
And that means your electric bill is going to be lower as well. Heating bill.
So that'll help with the cold for sure.
Yep.
Allison Cotton, thank you so much.
Thanks, Allison.
What Algarve area do you recommend for a family with kids ages 9 through 17? Walkable is a must. Prefer walking distance from beach, shopping, everything. Ooh, walking distance from beach. So that would rule out.
Tavira, kind of. I mean,
Tavira's
Tavira is
got the
pretty.
river.
It's pretty easy to. No, but it's pretty easy to get to the beach as well.
Yeah.
Lagos.
Lagos or maybe
But it's a little
Portimao.
too. Yeah, maybe Portimao. Lagos might be a little too. It's
Crazy?
not that crazy though.
It is known for more like backpackers
Partiers,
and that.
backpackers,
And that. And then Albufeira is a bit more party scene
Yes.
as well.
Portimao maybe would be the place to look.
Portimao, yeah, as far as because Lulé is beautiful, a little smaller but more inland, so you wouldn't get the beach there. So maybe Portimao.
Yep.
Yeah, check that.
Good question.
Mandy, what do you love about Coimbra?
I love how young it is.
Hmm.
I mean, I know Kaylee said that was your first impression, right? Like the average age.
yeah.
It just feels alive. Like this place feels very, very much alive. I think because of how young the people on the streets are. Makes me feel younger.
Yeah, you know what's funny, I think, too, is as Josh has a birthday actually coming up in a week. What's funny, too, is we are trying our hardest to speak Portuguese when we go out. But it's really funny because everyone speaks English, so then they'll respond in English. And so then we have to ask them, can we switch to Portuguese? And they'll say, okay. And then you're speaking Portuguese, and then they still respond in English. So it's kind of a funny thing that people are really nice here, and they speak English. So that's a good thing. So I guess it's a little pros and cons. It's a little hard to practice Portuguese, but
Well, what do you love about it?
Well, I do love that the people are. That's what I'm saying. Is this is a funny thing that I love about is the people speak English and are really nice and accommodating, even though you're like, no, I want to try Portuguese. So it's like they don't care that you want to try Portuguese. They're like, no, I can switch.
I think they just want to practice their English.
They might want to. I mean, the English is really good here, so I think I love that aspect of the interactions with the different people, the servers and stuff.
Definitely.
Yeah. All right, David, what would you recommend as the best time of year for a scouting trip?
Not this time of year.
No, don't do August.
I think. Well, I don't think July or August.
Yeah.
Because of prices.
August is the big time for the Portuguese to have their vacation.
That too.
So, like especially the South, like the population number goes up like in like millions because everyone comes there. The Spanish come over as well, and French and everything. So it's just a very big travel time. So I think your sweet spot might be before it gets too cold.
I think like May to June, or April even. Maybe if you were to do this and you started like this similar something to what we did. Start in the South, work your way north, and start either in April or May. I think it'd be all right because it will be warm down there, and then as you work your way up, it'll start to gradually get warmer in those regions.
Yeah, or I would say, or the reverse would be like in the fall, maybe September to October, November. I would say don't come between end of November through March because of weather, cold. Yeah. So you can kind of not have to deal with that.
Yep.
It's a good question, though.
Yep.
Eva Silva, hi. I'd like to know your top 3 cities, towns you would personally want to move if Porto was not an option.
Porto's the option. Okay. So I've got to think fast here. Setúbal really impressed me. So I'm going to put Setúbal somewhere in the top 3. We haven't seen Aveiro, but definitely somewhere here in Central. So Coimbra, I'm going to go with Coimbra. Be around the young people, feel young. And
getting those grays more.
Yeah. And it would be ridiculous for me to say Beja, but nah, Beja for a short time.
Beja for a short time?
Yeah, because I can go back, hang out with Joao.
And the craft beer
have
place.
Some beer.
Isn't that crazy? Okay, so far for me, I would say it is tough because I really like the central region. So I think it would be, I guess, between Coimbra and Tomar. I liked Tomar. I liked the vibe. I really liked their national park there. I thought it was really pretty.
I thought you were going to say Villanova Gaia and Matosinhos.
Because they're so close to Porto. Yeah, that's a good one. So I guess maybe I'd go with Coimbra because it's bigger than Tomar, but I did like Tomar. And then Cascais I thought was really good. It is more like touristy, but I did like the vibe. Cascais. And I like Lule down south.
Lule was nice too.
Yeah. Yes, I would go with those.
I'll go with you.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll go with you, but Beijing for a short time, definitely just short time.
Yeah. Okay. This is a great question right here. Flavia says, have you been to Caldas da Rainhas? And I heard it is very good.
Yes,
we did. So we met Carl and Luisa there. So it's Carl Munson from Expats Portugal and Luisa, the #1 video that we have on our channel. So we met them there, had a meal with them. They kind of walked us around town a bit. Definitely, I think, coming up on the expat scene, a lot of expats are there. Really nice.
A lot
place.
of Americans. Carl was saying there's a lot of Americans there.
Very quaint, super livable. Again, it's like a lot of these places in Central, they're very livable.
Very easy, yeah.
Yeah.
It's hard to differentiate between them.
That's what I'm saying.
I know they all have really like all the same good things about them. The
Exactly.
green space, the restaurants, the
nice people.
Yeah. So any of these really
similar weather.
do. Yeah. Alexis, thank you. Super sticker. Yay.
Thank you.
Thank you for that. Yeah. So moving on, I think where are we at?
I think we've got some technical questions as well about banking and all that stuff.
Ooh.
Okay, go ahead.
Amit, if you don't want to stay right in Porto, which outlying areas would you pick? Just outside of Porto?
Matosinhos.
Yeah, Matosinhos would be a good one.
Yeah, I would say for me, Matosinhos over Villanova, the Gaia.
Yeah, I agree.
Gaia.
Yeah.
I should just call it Gaia.
Gaia.
Yeah.
Matosinhos, I agree.
Matosinhos.
El Tigre, do you use Portugal banks or U.S. banking or a combo? Does N26 work in Portugal?
Okay, so not sure if I know what N26 is, but we use, now that we're here, we're predominantly using our Portuguese bank. In terms of the visa process, we had to open up a bank account to kind of do the CEF part of it. But we know that you guys right now have to open up bank accounts to get your application going. So yeah, so you get your Portuguese bank account, you chuck some money in there, and then you just make sure that it's active so that when you go to your CEF appointment, so that's your border.
It finalizes your visa. That's the last step of the immigration process to get your residency card. Yeah.
So yeah, if you guys need to get a bank account, Border is doing that, border.io. You can use ExpatsEverywhere code to get $10 off your order. But yeah, we still do some banking in the US. We still have some real estate stuff there, real estate activity, and we have to use our US banks for that. It just makes a whole lot more sense. And then we also use Wise to transfer money. It's much cheaper than trying to send bank transfers. So that's what we do.
We have a link in the description for Wise.
Yeah.
So you can use that. I think it's you get your first your first transfer free up to £500 or something.
Something like that. But I mean, Wise, Revolut, a lot of those are similar services.
Yeah,
but they're going to be cheaper.
Border
than
is
banks.
good because they use Millennium, which is a really good bank. Yeah, we've got the dog running around now.
Yeah.
Okay, Megan, hi from Seattle. Doing a scouting trip in November. Are there parks and activities for kids, families in Coimbra or the other towns around there? So yeah. I'm always on the lookout for this. There's our beautiful botanical gardens here in Coimbra, so that's something. Tomar had a beautiful preserved national park that's really big for hiking. It's got like a flower garden with like the little short mazes with the bushes, playground area. So Tomar had a really good one. They all do actually. Figueira da Foz did, right? It has some stuff down there. Around there. So yeah, all of these areas, I think, because G was saying, before the green spaces, there's just a lot of green here. So they've all done really well with keeping something that is, good for families. Oh, where did we go? Tomar. No, it was actually Tomar. Not only did they have that national park, but they also had this huge other area with the park with the waterfall and stuff.
Yep.
Tomar has a lot of good green space. So yeah, this whole area is really good with it. Okay, Robert. We spent time in Coimbra in 2019 and fell in love. Now I'm pursuing ancestral citizenship for a possible permanent move. In the meantime, suggestions on getting foot in door with digital nomad residency.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think a lot of people here are now moving as digital nomads because the threshold's so low. So that would be the D7 visa. A lot of people will look at the D7 visa and they think, oh, it's just for retirees,
Yeah.
but it's not. D7 visa can be used for people who are earning money outside of having a work contract in country. So if you have a work contract in the US, for example, and they allow you to work remotely, you can do that. If you're a consultant that does online work, you can do that, assuming that you can show like a steady income. So it doesn't have to be just derived from investments or whatnot.
Yep. And we have a D7 course. If you're interested in that, you can always email us with questions about it or just about the whole idea of getting the D7 if you want to know about that.
The dog is going bonkers right now, so I'm going to step away, get him some water. Kaylee's going to keep going. We're super professional.
Yeah. Keeping it real. This is real life, guys. Okay, Claudia. Hey, Claudia. Hey, guys. Beer for boys, wine for ladies at Tortas de Azatao for Sia. Woohoo! Yep, Claudia, thank you. She introduced us to that new pastry. Obviously, Sia had the pastel de nata, and this is a different one in Azatao. I think we talked about in our last live. It's kind of like a roll and it's spongier. All right, dog fairly sorted for now. Evo, are you going to keep doing videos on your improvement in Portuguese, like the video where you order coffee? That would be fun. We hadn't thought about it, actually.
Yeah, maybe we should.
Yeah. You're
yeah.
probably the first person actually to ask us to do that.
You are the first person to ask us, Evo, but I appreciate the challenge. I think we'll do it.
That is a good challenge, especially as we're practicing and learning more. It's kind of getting hard though, just because everywhere we go, especially when we're in the Lisbon region, it was like, I don't know if I should just speak Portuguese or English to this person, even like just walking around, because there was so much English going on. So that's kind of been tough, especially, and servers and everything around now. It's like, oh, what language do I do?
I just force Portuguese.
Yeah, it's easy to default to English, which can be, not as good, but Josh is better at it than I am. Boulder Geek. Oh, this is for you.
Oh, are you able to satisfy your IPA needs in your Portugal touring? So I'm not a huge IPA fan. I know I'm a craft beer fan. I do drink IPAs, and actually I do like tasting them, but I wouldn't like sit down and drink them. I think they go to my head a bit quickly. Yeah.
Every craft beer place has an IPA.
They've played around with an IPA, more or less. Mm-hmm. How do I answer that question? So no, because I don't think there's enough craft beer places, right? There's not enough, really.
Up and coming in that scene.
Yeah, it's coming. Give it like maybe 5 more years, and I think it'll be a little more mature.
But I would say every craft beer place you find has an IPA for the most part.
About,
for the most part, because they're pretty
about.
Popular, so they tend to,
play
around with that.
We got a couple super stickers.
Mimi, hi Mimi. Thank you, Mimi.
Thank you so much,
See
Mimi.
You.
We got to catch up with her in, Lisbon area, Stubble.
Yeah. Lisbon area.
Good to see you.
Dog's ready to come back up. He's back.
Okay, so question is,
Luis.
You got to pronounce this one. Sertã.
Did you like Sertã?
We didn't actually see the town, so what we did, we're going to break some news here. The lovely people at Eco and Beyond allowed us to come to their property and interview them. So if you guys don't know the channel Eco and Beyond, they are 2 British expats. One's British, one's Australian, that have bought a piece of land there, and they're kind of bringing the land back to life, renovating a property and living off grid, essentially. Mm-hmm. So we went to interview them. They live kind of just adjacent to the town of Sertã.
So we kind of just drove through it. Yeah, we didn't get to experience it too much because we were outside a bit more.
But we did get to kind of drive through quite a bit of like town life, and it didn't shock me. It seemed very similar to kind of the region of the country that I grew up in, at least the rural part of the area that I grew up in, for sure. A lot of farmland.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Michael, the D7 visa was what I was looking into, but I admit I'm not up on other options. Are there other options for a visa? I heard about a golden visa that requires buying a home. Can you expand on others? Really? Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Really, the 2 main ones are the G7 and the golden visa. You do have the D6, which is a family reunification one. So you have to have family ties. That's right. You also have the D2, which means that you're going to come here and do something entrepreneurial.
That sounds decent. Entrepreneurial.
Yeah, you're going to be an entrepreneur when you come here. So that means you're going to have to start some business while you're here. Those are really the main ones.
Lowest startup cost D7, bar none, which is why we see so many people applying for it. The golden visa doesn't just have to be for buying a home. It could be for other types of investments. It tends to be buying a home because that is the easiest. It also is not necessarily a home that you have to live in. You could buy it as an investment property.
And there's different prices for where that's going to be. And they're changing that up too with the Lisbon and Porto region not being able to qualify. So there's a lot going on with the golden visa right now.
We've spoken to a couple companies that do this type of thing. So if you need more information on that, email info@ExpatsEverywhere.com.
That's me.
Yeah.
yeah, definitely, Michael. Email and we can chat a bit more about some of your options, and I can kind of learn about your specific situation too.
Yep.
Happy to help.
Yep.
All right. Lokita, are there regions that are cooler? We're retired and coming in May and love cooler areas.
Here and the north.
Central and north.
Central and north are the two regions that are definitely cooler. It does get cool in some of the other regions like inland in Alentejo, but the problem is during the summers it gets really hot there too. So it swings. Yeah. But certainly central and north are cooler like all year long. If you look at weather.com, for example, and see average temperatures for Porto or for Braga or for Coimbra, you're going to see quite mild weather. What else we got?
All right. Sunday Girl, you mentioned you were visiting Costa da Caparica. Will you be releasing that video?
So we just visited Costa da Caparica to see Liz with Talk the Streets and shoot a video with her. So that was just an interview. However, it was a nice little town. What we're hearing is they're really trying to attract digital nomads, whether they be international digital nomads or remote workers / digital nomads in Portugal. So they're trying to attract people out that way. The same guy that has the project in Madeira, Gonzalo Hall, the same guy that started that digital nomad village there, is trying to do the same thing in Costa da Caparica. So you're going to see the infrastructure, I think, really get built up there. And the housing market might change a little bit. I think possibly in the short run in the favor of people that are moving there. You'll get some favorable deals to relocate there. That's just my guess.
All right,
Good
guys,
question.
we're going to go for about 3 more minutes because normally these are about 30 minutes since we're doing it every 2 weeks. So we'll stop at the 45 minutes.
And we're actually in G and Amy's room, so they're probably wanting to kick us out. And if you have any questions for G and Amy from a British perspective, you put that in the comment section. Maybe Amy will actually pull it up. She's probably cheating over there.
She won't show those. Michael, thank you for doing this and all this fabulous info. No problem. Yep, definitely email us and we can chat a bit more about stuff. But thank you for that. Johnny, what was your email again for more info on investment properties in Portugal? You want to do that one or you want me to?
It is info.
I thought it was going to be yours.
Oh, mine. Okay. You can send an email to me at contact@ExpatsEverywhere.com.
And mine is info@ExpatsEverywhere.com. So really some stuff.
I've got all the contacts. She's got all the info.
So Josh handles more of the business side of things. So if you send me an email and it's more up his alley, I'll connect you to, or the other way around, I guess. So really, if you send an email to either one of those, but
we'll read it.
But we do have a good little group of investment stuff that we can share with you. So either one.
Yeah. And when this ends, I will stay and I'll get in the comment section and type to those of you that we didn't get. But let's go to the next comment or question.
Aardvark, you all are great. Keep up these great vids. Hopefully see you in November. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Aardvark.
Yep, definitely let us know. Yep. Antonio, I'm a Portuguese citizen. Been following your channel for a while now. You should really visit Costa Vicentina. I think it's by far one of the best places to retire.
We'll have to look it up.
Tranquility.
We're not ready to retire yet, but we'll check it out.
That's definitely one to check out. So many great places, actually. Like when you start getting around, you find lots of little places to check out. Okay, Utku, I'm looking for student accommodation, mostly single rooms with shared areas. Would you have any suggestions? yeah, if you're in Coimbra, this is the place to be for that.
Yeah, their Baisha apartment had like a fully dedicated shared room, didn't it?
I did, yeah. So if you're specifically talking about Coimbra, then actually we just put out a video about different types of housing, and they really, it's for anyone, but there's a lot of focus on the university students here. So you'd have those types of housing available definitely in Coimbra, but it really is everywhere if you want to share.
The one thing I'll say, and I saw this in the comment section of that video, is yes, the apartments are a little higher priced. That's true. Like you can find cheaper accommodations in Coimbra. The thing is, like, these apartments are fully set up and they're like nice. So you can definitely find a place where it's cheaper and you're sleeping in grandma's bed. You know what I mean? Like a
I don't.
No, like a hand-me-down bed from like generations back.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, like a bed that maybe has like a dip or something.
Yeah.
It's so old. Or,
Yeah.
Okay. All right. All right. This will be the last question. Danny, have you been up north to the Viana do Castelo area yet?
Great question. So we have a poll coming out in 15 minutes. So you guys can vote on where you want to see us go next. So that means that you'll have 48 hours from when that poll opens to vote on where you want to see us go in the north and highlight. This Wednesday, we have a video coming out with Eco and Beyond. Then on Sunday, we have our big Coimbra video that'll come out. And then next Monday, we move again to wherever you guys selected us to go.
And that's on our community tab. So that is one of the options. So if you want us to go there, then vote for there.
That's right.
All right. I think that's it for this Central live Q&A. And we will be back in 2 weeks once we are in our next destination.
Thanks for all the love. Thanks for all the super chats. If you guys want to get more intimate with us, you can join us on Patreon. We've got a link in the description section below. Josh.
Kaylee. Oh, I thought you were going to say my name.
Let's get moving.
Bye.
Bye.